Awesome. Hi, everyone. We're finally live with the webinar. Before we get into it, I just want you guys to put where you're joining from and your name on the comment section, just so that we know that from where you're actually joining. Lovely. A lot of faces today. Some of them from Toronto, some are joining from North Carolina. Awesome. Okay, so let's just start. Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's live webinar, AI-powered property management, Teleplex plus Contact HQ in action. I'm Amrita Siva. I'm the head of partnerships at Boundless Software, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have you join us for this exciting session. We brought together here two powerhouse teams, so I absolutely have to exclusively tell this. We're finally partnered with Contact HQ and our team, which is Boundless Software, to show you how AI and construction technology are transforming property management as we know it. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll walk you through some practical use cases, showing you Teleplex AI and Contact HQ can streamline your rental operations, reduce manual overhead, and elevate tenant experiences. Here's what we'll be covering today, by the way. Processing rental applicants and managing lease requirements, informing availability and key dates automatically. And the final use case is virtual tenant assistance for routine inquiries. Now, let me do a little bit of a spotlight over the team here. Joining me today are Craig Hurst, the Chief Information Officer at Contact HQ, Rob Bruce, the Director of Partnerships at Contact HQ, and my wonderful colleague whom you all have seen on the last webinar, Kurt Bow, our Senior Solutions Engineer at Boundless Software, who made AI Teleplex happen, by the way. So Craig and Rob will first walk us through Contact HQ's intelligent platform and also set up some of the pain points and challenges many people are facing today within the construction technologies, hence the use cases. And then finally, Kurt will take you behind the scenes of our Teleplex AI avatar, your new virtual property assistant in action. Okay, let's dive in. Craig and Rob, off to you.
Thanks, Amrita. I'm sure many of you on this webinar today are property managers, and because of the broad scope of the property management, whether it be residential, commercial, and then we're not just talking about the rental market and property management, we're also talking about the ongoing maintenance and other activities that need to be undertaken when managing a property. But today, for the sake of this webinar, we're going to focus a little bit more on residential, both single unit residential as well as multi-story or multi-unit residential. So bear with us, but I think for those of you who are not in that sector, you're going to see a lot of functionality that is going to be applicable to all layers, so commercial as well as owner-operated buildings. So when we take a look at the net effect, we are actively involved in helping all kinds of companies that are engaged in the operation, in the construction and the operation of a building. When we take a look at what needs to be done, from helping those organizations develop their technical infrastructure in order to manage the building, we're generally looking at very what seems like nowadays old school technologies, in the sense that they're not utilizing AI to manage those properties. So today we're going to take a closer look at what AI can be used for when it comes to managing the rental process, managing the maintenance of the building, and then managing the ongoing ebb and flow of activity between the property management company and the tenant. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. And I think you're going to find that it's going to be very exciting to see how AI can be used to enhance your operations in property management. Rob, anything else to add before we throw it over to Kurt?
I got to say, not much. I mean, very, very well said. The one thing that I just want to maybe kind of repeat or hammer home, if you will, is as you're watching the use cases and we're covering these use cases, think about how that can still apply to you. I mean, Craig said it in the very beginning when he opened up, but there's so many ways to implement AI into your system. AI is not like a piece of software that you have to adapt to necessarily. AI now has become something that the AI adapts to you. So you're not changing policy, procedure. You can do just more of what you have been doing in a just much more streamlined, less overhead type of way. So.
True.
I think the other thing to add here as well is that, as you just stated, Rob, the whole idea is that AI adapts to you. So whatever you currently have in place in terms of software systems, in terms of communication systems, and so on, what you're about to see is not a case of deleting what you already have. It's a case of affiliating it or integrating it into what you have. So, and then the other thing that I want to say is, as you're going through this, use your imagination and ask questions about what it can and cannot do for you. Kurt.
Sorry to cut you guys off. Someone from our audience, Pete over here, says, not sure if this is true for everyone in the webinar, but I can't hear any audio right now. Video is very jerky as well. Just wanting to know to the audience, if you guys cannot hear us, please put that on the comment section and we can try to fix it. Make sure everybody's able to hear it. You can just simply give a nod.
Should I carry on?
Yeah, you can carry on. Okay, people are able to hear it.
Okay, Rob, Craig, you guys good?
We are.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So I'm going to be showcasing the different ways in which you could utilize AI, as they had mentioned, to work within your systems, adapt, fit it within. And I'm going to do that by showcasing our Teleplex, our AI avatar. So we're going to go through 3 different use cases. First, we're going to process a rental applicant via phone. So this kind of streamlines the application process while taking out some of the tedium on the side of the property manager. The second one is going to be finding availability for properties and then scheduling a viewing. So, handling your Google Calendar, your, ERP registration, whatever it might be. And third is going to be a virtual assistant for your tenant. So this could be your maintenance request. This could be even as much as paying, whatever your rent or monthly subscription might be, handling maintenance requests. But with that being said, if nobody has anything else they'd like to say, I will kick into the first demo. All right. So I'll be doing this one by phone. I'll be doing this one by phone and showcasing what a sample rental application process would look like, and then show what else gets handled on the back end as far as your emails, your CRM linking, etc. And with that being said, I'm going to call.
Connect your call. Hello, and thank you for calling Evergreen Living Properties. I'll be helping you with your rental application for 1234 Imaginary Avenue. To get started, I just need a few quick details. Your name, your email, your credit score, and if you have any questions or concerns about the property. Can I have your full name, please? No problem at all. Take your time. Whenever you're ready, could you share your full name with me?
My name is Kurt Box.
Thanks, Kurt. Could you let me know your last name as well, please?
Box.
Thank you, Kurt Box. Now, what's the best email address to reach you about your application?
Kurt@boundless.software.
Got it. So your email is kurt@boundless.software. Does that look correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Perfect. Thanks for confirming. Now, could you tell me your approximate credit score or the general range it's in?
My score is about 700.
Thanks for that. And do you have any questions or concerns about the property, like pets, move-in timing, or the neighborhood?
Yeah, my only question is how quickly I'll be able to actually move in.
Great question. We'll make sure to pass that along to the property manager so they can get you a clear answer on the move-in timing. Let's go over everything we've got. Name, Kurt Box. Email, kurt@boundless.software. Credit score, about 700. Question about how quickly you'll be able to move in. Does everything look correct to you? Brilliant. Thank you. I'll go ahead and submit your application right now. Wonderful. I've submitted your application. You'll hear from our property manager soon at kurt@boundless.software. Thanks again for your interest in 1234 Imaginary Avenue. We look forward to welcoming you. Take care, Kurt, and have a great day.
All right, and now with that, I'll showcase everything that has taken place on the back end side of that. So this email just came out. Let me make sure that I show this. Email came to the email that I supplied, kurt@boundless.software, from our demo account, showcasing this is what my rental application looks like. From the side of, let me switch tab. From the side of the realtor, you just got a brand new application telling them, what information was passed off as far as just a notification that a new application came through. And even more interesting than that is if I go, let me switch my tab. Second. Share this. I'm using GHL just as a sample here to showcase, that it could be linked up with anything, whether it be your CRM, your ERP, any other level of functionality. My contact just got created as well here. So now you can keep, even if this person isn't accepted for this particular property, you can save the information that came from their conversation. So credit score, questions, concerns. If you add more criteria to learn more about them, you might find a potential tenant that you can show somewhere else that may not be a fit for this location, but it's good to have that information generally, right? It's never an issue to save that. All that came from just one simple phone call, hands off on the part of you. So I'm going to rebring this discussion real quick back to everyone that is a part of this webinar. And I'm just curious what you guys might have to say about that.
Any particular comments, Craig and Rob, here?
Yeah. So just so that everybody understands what they're looking at there, the application that Kurt referred to is known as Go High Level, which is a CRM. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management Application, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be Go High Level. It can be whatever you're using to keep track of all of your contacts. Quite frankly, it could just be a large Excel spreadsheet. We hope it's not, because that will a CRM could actually enhance your business unto itself. But the point is that information from the voice phone call is creating the contact right within the CRM.
I think the only real piece that I would really want to add there is, as you watch that, realize how much that can either literally lower your overhead operating cost, or it can take somebody's time, take another person's time and free them up greatly to go do other tasks. Because this is just, I don't want to say menial, but it's very repetitive taking information like that over the phone. And it in human hours, it you know what it is in your own business, what that is per year. So if you have one or two people manning the phones, taking calls, imagine letting them go work on other tasks to actually help grow your business instead of just being an operating overhead cost.
Yeah.
Not about replacing the human. It is about freeing up the human to do other more profitable tasks.
Yeah. Lastly, the other thing I'd like to say is that the questions that the concierge or avatar are asking that you're seeing today is a very short list related to, so that we can make sure that we get through this demo quickly. You can continue on to ask people about, who their references are, and where they work and what their income is. You can scale up or scale down the size of the information that you're asking them to meet whatever needs you have. Kurt.
Yeah, and that information could then be saved in any location that would be relevant to you. So you're not just gathering it from them, but it handles the saving of that. One thing I wanted to toss on to what Rob said with regards to the human element, this kind of formalizes that process. Right now, you're not having to deal with somebody's temper, whatever mood that they're in that day. You don't have to, make things too fluid. You get the information that you need without having to get any more than you need or waste anybody's time. It's point and shoot.
It blends into the workflows. That's the thing. It just doesn't automate everything. It enhances the experience for the person. They don't have to keep thinking, oh my God, what do I do next? They know exactly what they have to do. And the outcome is a measurable business outcome. And absolutely, I totally agree with Rob, because once I started using this Teleplex, one thing I know that I am doing, I'm now freed up for doing more profitable tasks and not actually thinking of the administrative tasks. And that's what makes this perfect. You are used for more creative and business-oriented tasks rather than just these day-to-day administrative tasks.
All right, are we ready to go into the next demo?
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, let me add this here. And what the purpose of, you're looking at our sandbox environment here, just to showcase, this could be, in an email embedded to your website, wherever it might be that you want it. The focus on this demo is going to be the finding the available properties and then scheduling a viewing. So let's say you've already met some type of criteria. We are going to be pulling our information from this Google Sheets that you see over here. So again, this is just representative of a place to store information. This does not necessarily have to be, Google Sheets. It could be, your ERP. It could be whatever application or Excel sheet that you're using to manage your properties and your bits of information. So coming back over to here, I'll show what that experience is like.
Hello, I'm Haven with Silver Key Realty. Thank you for reaching out. I'll help you find available rentals and book a showing. To start, what date are you hoping to begin your search, and how many bedrooms are you looking for?
And let me just confirm, you guys can hear that, correct?
Yes.
I can,
Awesome.
yeah.
Yes.
I would like to start looking probably around October 25th, and I need at least 3 bedrooms.
Thanks for letting me know. I'll check the available properties now, just a moment. Here are a couple of available options. 1234, Imaginary Avenue. 8888 Ghost Path. Which one would you like to schedule a showing for?
I would like to schedule a showing for 1234 Imaginary Avenue, please.
Just to confirm, the available property is 1234 Imaginary Avenue. Let's go ahead with that one. Perfect choice. What date and time would you like to view the property?
I would like to view the property on October 31st at 12 p.m., please.
And what's the best email address to send your showing confirmation to?
Kurt@boundless.software.
Your showing is confirmed. You'll receive all the details at kurt@boundless.software. Thanks for choosing Silver Key Realty. I look forward to helping you find your new home.
And again, imagine that being on your website with all of your branding and all of your particular information. But if we hop over to here now, back to that sheet that I'd shown you before, it showed who it was booked by, it changed the status. If we come over to the Google Calendar for the demo account, which is representing our property manager, you'll now see that it invited the guest, which was my personal email, to view this. So now let's, you're probably, if you have a lot of properties, you're doing a lot of showings, it gets a bit chaotic. Now you don't even have to worry about overwhelming your secretary, as Rob and Craig had mentioned before. They can do other tasks that might be more beneficial or revenue generating. And now your calendar is scheduling itself. You could add more thorough vetting questions or some aspect of a login to decide who is able to go through that showing interaction with the avatar. We're just showcasing the functionality. But then when it's all said and done, it's updated in your particular software. It shows up on your calendar. And if I come over to my email, you'll see that my booking is successful and the realtor is looking forward to meeting me. They didn't even know about it. They didn't have to do anything, yet the process was still taken completely out of their hands. And the steps that we're showcasing here, like, the email, the this and that, are all arbitrary for the sake of showcasing that we can do things, right? Whether you want a text, an email, a calendar, a messenger pigeon, a notification on your smart fridge, we can get creative with it. It's just about making it fit your particular need. And with that, I'd like to bring everybody back.
I haven't thought about using a smart fridge for a message before, but that's a good idea.
If it can be reached by an API, we can talk to it.
The other thing that can happen in the background is that the CRM, the customer relationship management application, can actually be set up with a sequence. So in the case of the situation that Kurt just showed us, that sequence starts with that email going to the person asking for the appointment. It can then an SMS message can then be sent to them after to also let them know that it's been acknowledged. Another SMS message can be sent to them the day before and saying, you're confirmed for the showing at 123 Imaginary Street or Imaginary Avenue, and it will give them the opportunity to say, oh, I can't make it, or I need to reschedule, or whatever. So the ability to set up in the background automated sequences so that you're not relying on human interaction, you're relying on digital interaction to make sure that nobody's time is wasted, that everybody's properly communicated with, and any information, additional information that you need from that person, you may be able to ask them that information in that sequence.
It also keeps you engaged, right? So it's the constant reminder, constantly understanding, do I need to be somewhere? Is there a conflict? Oh, maybe I can't do this or something like that. And you, again, it ties back into what Kurt says. The mood of the person. Sometimes you just call up a realtor and say, no, I'm sorry, I can't come. Like, oh my God, you just wasted my time. Why are you telling me in the last moment? But now that there's a digital interaction, like Craig mentioned, all of that emotions and all of that running and that frustration kind of goes away because you can ask the same question multiple times to our agent.
I think this kind of really wraps around what everybody else was saying, but as I was thinking that one through and watching what Kurt was doing, what kept popping into my mind was the cost of mistakes.
Mhm.
And the cost of mistakes, it isn't always exactly dollars because, hey, we lost an hour of time because somebody made a mistake. But cost of a mistake is your company's image, which, yeah, sure, you can relate that back to dollars because you may lose some business because of it. But the cost of mistakes, lots of ways really to look at that, and with these reminders that can be set up, the text messages, letting the AI handle the calendaring, you're going to watch and see a lot of those common, unfortunate but unintentional mistakes just go away. They're just going to start dropping off, and when you do look at the hours, how many hours a year, again, are you going to recoup because mistakes were lowered by 75%?
I concur. And with that, we will move into our final demo of the day, which actually will showcase the feature that Craig had discussed, SMS messaging. I tried to segment which avatar was doing which particular feature, but this one is going to be your virtual assistant for the tenant. So on the note of the human errors being removed, things like that, and as I brought up before, some aspect of the human condition, we might call it, when dealing with something like a maintenance request, you can have that process abstracted so that you're not getting the 3 a.m. phone call or the this or that, right? You can have workflows in place that contact the proper people to solve your issues in the case of plumbing, in the case of whatever it might be. And it just kind of streamlines that. And with that being said, I'm going to showcase this right here.
Hello, I'm your tenant support assistant for Evergreen Living Properties. Can I start by getting your name and hearing what issue you're experiencing?
My name is Kurt Box.
Great, I can see you're the unit holder at 1234 Imaginary Lane. Let's get this sorted. What issue are you experiencing today, Kurt?
And before I carry on, I would just like to point out, imagine that this is some kind of a service that, let's say, you've logged into, or that there is a client portal for, or whatever it might be. You can optimize what the agent knows and what it's then able to do. So this functionality that you're seeing here might not be available to somebody who then lives down the street or somewhere else. You can have it segmented so that each person has their own tools, more effectively siloing what they can do, but also giving that avatar stronger credentials to enable them to do more without the risk of contacting somebody that it isn't supposed to. And with that, I'll hop back in. My sink is leaking.
Thanks for letting me know, Kurt. Could you tell me a bit more about how bad the leak is? For example, is it just a drip, or is water spilling out quite heavily?
I think the drain is clogged and it's causing it to leak underneath my sink and then spill into my kitchen.
Got it, Kurt. That sounds like a pretty urgent issue, especially with water spill. Your report has been successfully filed. Our team will review it shortly and reach out to assist you. Thank you for contacting Evergreen Living Properties. We appreciate your patience.
Now, if I was to hop over here, this is what I was referencing in terms of there being some kind of a software that would handle your particular maintenance request. There is now a logged registry of what has taken place. You see, this is a plumbing issue. Time is now. So essentially, this would simulate, an email to your particular plumber or to your maintenance person, or just simply keeping log of the issues that has taken place. If we now go over to this email, I got confirmation showcasing that my plumbing request has been made and that you will be able to hear back shortly. So similar thing, just streamlining those operations as to not allow there to be an issue. And it came in a bit late, but I will now showcase this. If I, 1 second, remove here and full screen my camera, I will showcase the text that just came through. Now imagine this text is to me, now the property manager. So I showcased that the tenant received the email, but now just to notify the property manager so they know what's going on, it says your tenant, Kurt Box, is having a high priority plumbing issue. Clogged drain causing the water to leak underneath the sink and spill into the kitchen. My camera blur is kind of preventing that from being seen. Let me see. No, it's not working. Well, you're just going to have to take my word for it. The text message, is registering what took place. So again, like Craig had mentioned before, this is, kind of all purpose. You can handle solutions in different ways. We're just trying to showcase some of the ways that you might do that. And I'll open the conversation back to everybody.
Rob?
Oh, that was insightful.
Yeah.
Craig and Rob, any thoughts?
Well, I tell you, I've got a lot of years in construction, and a lot of that was residential. And dealing with frustrated tenants, homeowners, etc., is such an incredibly time-consuming issue. I was just talking about adding up the hours of mistakes that can happen over the course of a year, but think about how not just the hours, but unfun it is dealing with a really mad tenant because a repair ticket got dropped out, which happens a lot unless you have an extremely tight system, because everything can happen where, you had to make another property a priority, so they didn't get over and fix Kurt's sink because they had to run over to another property, but the system had no way to let Kurt know they weren't going to show up. Now how much time is going to be spent getting Kurt settled down because he took the afternoon off work to meet the maintenance guy? So that just kept popping into my head on because you can plug in all those things. So if there's a double booking, what's going to happen, what's the trigger, what happens when this, all these things get into play. So the people manning the office are not going to be dealing with frustrated tenants anywhere near as much as they were before. So,
and
I think it also ties back into, go ahead, Kurt.
I was going to say, just chiming in really quickly, like additionally, it's not just the time de-escalating me for, having my sink leak. If you're the property manager, you then have to deal with the water damage, right? The quicker that gets solved, that's more money in your pocket. So it's more than just appeasing the tenant. The longer there is an urgent problem, the more consequence there is to that. And I just wanted to bring that other side of it in. Amrita, go ahead.
It's also about the disgruntled customers, which he's talking about, the emotion, the trust factor, everything goes off. And then you're going back and forth about human mistakes. Somebody would have booked you in 2 different slots and in the same slots, and you have to go be at 2 different places. But whereas when in automation, everything is clearly communicated, those mistakes is not going to be costing that property manager, because now that those mistakes are not even going to be made, because there is that human error element. So that trust factor also reduces drastically. But yes, I think that was okay. I do see that we're almost at the end of the webinar and we're getting a lot of questions. But before we go into our live Q&A, I really, really want to thank our wonderful partners for their insights, for their construction background, their years of experience they brought to this webinar. So thank you so much, Craig and Rob, for joining us on the webinar. And Kurt, you did a tremendous job on walking us through those use cases. Now I think people know what Contact HQ and AI Teleplex can actually do. And now that people know this, they've seen it, visualized it, they can always, get back to us if they want to see how it would fit into their business, right? So now I'm going to go through okay, right. So also for the people, guys, before I take in your questions, if you want to see this live Teleplex AI and the Contact HQ in action for specifically your business case or business, please go to this landing page over there. reach out to us. And also you can obviously chat with us on LinkedIn as well, but please go and sign up for your private demo today. Okay, so next over to some of the questions. I'm gonna start reading those questions to Craig and Rob and to Kurt as well. Let's see what questions we have today. Okay, so the first question is, okay, it's to Rob. Okay, Rob, from your perspective, what's the biggest shift you've seen in how technology is being adopted within this construction space in the last few years?
Well, I think the biggest cause of it, I really think, is generational. I guess maybe there's a better term for it, but it's the people that are up and coming in these companies, whether it's a construction company, property management company, or just anything in this space, in these trades. They're the ones now that are growing up with technology, and so it's very natural for them to reach out and start using things like AI. And I guess that's where I'll even throw in that if you haven't looked at AI yet, if you haven't talked to the folks at Boundless about getting some AI, your competition probably is, because it just dawned on me that as we're talking there. So your competition is going to get much more streamlined by adopting this type of technology. But I remember 15, 20 years ago, nobody wanted to use technology in these verticals: property management, field construction, whatever it might be. So I think it's just the new generation coming up.
Awesome. Thank you for the answer. The next question I see over here is, it's actually for Craig. So Craig, maybe you can, they're asking for an example, like of a client, if how Contact HQ has actually worked for them, some form of a customer success story, if you can share, and how it has automated that customer or that business.
Sure. So the way in which we work with clients, particularly on the net effect side of our business, is that the typical client is not a technology expert. Typical client knows that they, as Rob just indicated, in order to remain competitive and to remain current, they need to start to adopt certain technologies in order to support their business, make it more profitable. And so the role that we play in is to help them find the right applications and then help them implement them properly. So if they don't have what we refer to as a change management plan to go from the old to the new, it usually A, is going to be more expensive, B, much more time consuming, and C, may not even work as well as at all. I don't want to say it's not going to work at all, but it's not going to work as well as it should. So that's the role that we play in terms of understanding what it is that they want to achieve and helping them accomplish it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Craig, for that answer. I'm just going to take a few more questions before we wrap this up. Okay, Kurt, a question for you. Someone here's asking that today a lot of people are using AI, but at the same time, some companies are still very afraid to use AI because they're still thinking that it would replace their current jobs. And I think that's a very good question, because we were just talking about the replacement aspect and other things. So what, in your opinion, do you think, that today AI Teleplex is not here to replace jobs, but actually to enhance them?
Well, that's pretty easy. It really doesn't take jobs. You know what I mean? Who is hired exclusively to just answer a phone call, right? There's usually a whole list of other tasks that come along with whatever your particular role might be. It will just automate certain aspects of that. So like we had discussed before, as far as freeing them up to do other tasks, there's no one that's just fully overstaffed with people right now. There's no one that just has a bunch of people hanging out with nothing to do. And taking away a few phone calls or streamlining some maintenance requests is, if anything, more of a security against human error that then enables those people to do the jobs that they already do much better. It's an improvement in technology. Like it would be like saying adding a form to your website takes away the task from the person who was writing them in the notebook before, right? Or, you know, some alternation from the buggy whip maker to a car. It just enables more production, right? Like it's the successive next step in what we're already doing while optimizing some of the tasks that already might be taking place.
If I could add something to that.
Yes.
The other thing that is not going to, you're not going to lose people. They're not going to be replacing people potentially. I mean, you could, who knows what in the future. But the reality is that for most property management companies, particularly in residential, you are currently maxed out handling 200, 300, 400 doors. All right. By bringing in these types of technologies, you can expand the number of doors that you have the capacity to manage. So that's where the efficiencies are going to start to take place.
Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you for that answer, Craig. Now I'm going to go through one or two more questions, guys, because we are actually going to come to the end of time. I think this is a question which all of us can take, right? If you could automate, one daily frustration that every property manager faces, what would it be?
For me, I think it'd be the maintenance. If that's it.
So what about you, Craig?
Well, certainly the renter validation, the application process is very time consuming. And in today's day and age, there's so much documentation and information that needs to be gathered in order to run references, credit reports, those types of things. I think that's going to be a key area as well.
I think for me, it is more on the customer engagement side of things. What about you, Kurt?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Sure. The question is basically what's if you could automate one daily frustration that every property manager faces, what would it be?
Probably just the simple stuff that doesn't require any specialization. Like we saw a lot of the emails, we saw a lot of the scheduling. There's something about any person that then gives them that edge over somebody else, right? There's a reason that you have made it to where you have in your career. Those are things that are then uniquely special to you. Everyone has the capability to send an email. Everybody has the capacity to, anything that can be automated, I would say should be automated, right? That's probably the way to look at it, because that frees you up to do the things that put you to where you are, like Craig brought up. It raises the ceiling on the level of production that you can put forward.
Awesome. Okay, so one or two more questions again. This is, I guess, for all of us, guys. So they're asking, can we expect any fun updates or product innovation coming from Contact HQ and Boundless Software? I can definitely take the Boundless Software one. Yes, guys, we're working on many, many different things, and most of it gets posted on our LinkedIn page and also on our Boundless website page. So please do keep checking it out. We specialize in middleware. We specialize in AI. So definitely we're bringing in so many new things. But off to you, Rob and Craig. What about some exciting things we can do for Contact HQ?
What do you think, Craig? I mean, the Contact HQ website it's out there. It's not coming. It's there, but it's getting improved on. But what about on the net effect side? Or what ideas you got?
Yeah, so where we have a call it development calendar in terms of the net effect, we work with the entire life cycle of a building, all of the parties that are involved in it. And one of the things that we see happening in the very near future is that the information and the data that's created as as a building is being erected is going to wind up being important information in the ongoing operation and property management. This is where I'm going to touch into more on the commercial side of things than on the residential, although both sides apply. When you've created a new building, it could be an institutional building, could be a multi-story residential. All of the information related to every suite and every room, every light switch and every light fixture has value in terms of the ongoing operation and management of that building. So seeing a continuum of the data right from the time the building is designed to the time it's demolished, to be honest, is going to be an important thing that we're working towards on into the future. How to make sure that that information is going to be useful to every stakeholder along the life cycle of that building.
Okay, so thank you for that answer, Craig. Last question. Two people asked the same thing. Anmol here, Akil here. They're all asking that the avatar service looks really great. Are we limited to a set of avatar personas, or can we also have a custom face? And Anmol over here asked the same thing. Can we make myself as an avatar? Kurt, you can answer that better than I can.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'll give you guys a little hint. That's actually going to be one of the things showcased in our upcoming webinar, because we didn't mention it, but this is first of 5, all focused around construction. However, yes, you can create yourself as an avatar. So, you can get your voice, your mannerisms, variations of yourself, depending on, how you want it to be presented, like formal, business, construction. There's different ways that you can go about doing that. But unequivocally, yes, you can do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And yes, I was very, very excited to hear that answer because yes, we are working on it. Soon we'll even have a Kurt and myself as an avatar, or even Rob or Craig as an avatar. It's going to be a fun webinar, fun 4 series part. But anyway, I think this was an awesome, tremendous webinar. So many exciting things we were able to learn. I really want to give a warm thank you to the entire audience who joined us today. All of you, this was a fun ride. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for your questions. I know there are a few more questions, but please reach out to us on our landing pages, and we would love to answer any of our questions. Again, it's there. You can see the link over there. Please reach out to us, and we can keep having conversations and see how it can fit into your business. But thank you so much for joining us. Loved it. Peace out, everybody.
Thanks all.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.